As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhornbetty channel on YouTube. Breaking news right here on the Bullhornbetty channel. Welcome to the Bullhornbetty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Good morning, all. I hope everybody is doing well. I really do. Welcome to the Monday session, Manic Monday. Believe it or not, I woke up at 4 a.m., literally on the dot. I got up and I went to the gym. Haven't been to the gym in a really long time. And I have been sitting here eating sweets. I don't know where it came. I never ate sweets for years and years and years. Never really ate sweets. I'd eat a little piece of candy here and there, but I would never go buy a cake or cupcakes. And I think this is like week 4 of going and making sure the house is stocked with cupcakes. And I threw the rest of them away this morning. I'm like, I'm done. No more cupcakes, no more sweets in the house. I have put my foot down. So it is coffee time. So I am back on coffee. I'm back on 0-calorie items. We are getting ready to, I've been working, trying to strategize on what we're going to do for the, summer's candlelight vigil, because, for me, it's quite difficult. I'm trying. I'm probably going to be reaching out. So all the uh, monetized creators that are going to be in attendance to, for the summer well candlelight vigil, I'd really like you guys to reach out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Whether we're friends or not friends, I really don't care. This is for the sake of summer. This is not about any, petty squabbles or anything like that. This is 100% about summer. So I want to make sure it stays 100% about summer. And with that being said, I think that, there's got to be places for these creators. A lot of creators have spent a lot of time working very hard on, Summer Wells, bringing Summer Wells' name, to social media, keeping her name alive in social media. And I'd really like them to have an opportunity to say something. It cannot be negative. It has to be 100% about Summer Wells. It's not about the case. It's not about the investigation. It's not about anything other than us honoring Summer Wells. And there are I know there are multiple creators that are going to be there, and I just want to open it up for the creators that would like to say something at this vigil. I really would like them to reach out to me by email, and we can coordinate timing, because I'm still trying to figure out the time. We're going to be there from 7 to 9:30. Of course, I'm thinking the first half hour, first 45 minutes is more of a mix, handing out the balloons, the candles, the glow sticks and stuff, getting everybody kind of together. And they're going to want to mix and mingle and meet people. I'm thinking that can happen for the first hour or so. But then that second hour and a half, we need to have, I want to have somebody there to give the prayer. We want to talk very kind and highly of Summer Wells and law enforcement. Because again, like I said, this is not just about Summer Wells. This is also about letting law enforcement know that we back them and we want them to do the best possible job for Summer's sake. And so, we want to honor law enforcement. I know even myself can be very ultra critical of law enforcement. And, at the end of the day, they have families. They work hard. This has got to, I'm a commentator on some of this stuff, right? So I go out there, I get interviews, I take those interviews, I take the information I'm able to obtain. I make my opinion on what happened based upon the information I receive. And I'm affected. I'm personally affected by the stuff I find out personally. It does affect me. And these officers, I have to think they hear a lot more. They probably have a lot worse things that they have to look at and see. So I can only imagine that it affects them, 100 times or 1,000 times more than it does, YouTube creators. So we want to have something that also honors law enforcement and their dedication in trying to find answers in the Summer Wells case. There's been some rumors out there that are saying that we are doing this purely for financial gain. That could be further from the truth. First of all, I have not asked for a dime from we have not had one fundraiser for this initiative, not one. This initiative has been sponsored by me out of my own pocket and by a few other creators out of their own pocket. Miss Cher, the Voices Behind the Walls, donated glow sticks, purple glow sticks. We were able to purchase 50 of those with the funds received. Dolly Vision donated money for biodegradable balloons and lanterns. We are working, I'm working to print up stuff. None of this has been paid for by anybody other than creators for the love of summer. So whoever is spreading those kinds of lies, shame on them. The other people that are spreading, misinformation that this is going to be a big brawl. First of all, it's in front of the sheriff. Nobody's going to get out of hand. I mean, we're going to have law enforcement right there. This is probably the most safe place that we could possibly ever even consider having a candlelight vigil with so many different personalities, period. Benny Keys has reached out to a few creators. He's making sure that they know, he's there out of love. There's also several other creators that have reached out that say they want to go, and they're doing it out of love. Whether we, bash each other over the head with clubs on YouTube, when it comes to this child, we put our differences, our petty differences aside, and we come together like grown adults for the benefit of this baby. That's what adults do. This is not, some kind of movie where, we can't act like adults when needed. I mean, it's 2.5 hours. If somebody cannot hold their crap together for 2.5 hours, they don't need to come. It's just that simple. This is not for confrontation. This is nothing like that. This is purely 100% for Summer Wells. And if the people that are coming have other motives in mind, they will be escorted out. This is not the place for them. So we hope everybody comes together in a loving manner for the sake of this baby. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't have crap to do with me. It doesn't have crap to do with you. It is all about Summer. It's all about finding answers, and it's all about bringing Summer back safe. With every passing day, that gets further and further from how we're going to find her. So, sorry, my nose, I'm drinking hot coffee. My nose is just going crazy. I'm out of allergy medicine. I've been out of allergy medicine for like the last week. Outside of going to the gym, I haven't even gone grocery shopping. So I need to get to the grocery store. I've got to get to, get my vitamins and get my allergy medication because summer is just around the corner. And summer, I'm going to be dying here if I don't get something in this house. I got to tell you. It was nice waking up and going to the gym. I feel great. I spent an hour, about an hour and 15 minutes at the gym. And again, it felt amazing being back at the gym. I haven't been in a gym in years. I've had a gym membership now for a little over 30 days, and this is my first time going. So definitely, for those that want to come out, I'll definitely try to get back in shape because many of you guys know I lost a mess of weight, and then having a couple weeks on the cupcakes never helps. So we're going to tighten everything back up. Anyways, good morning, TJ. Good morning, Crystal. Kathleen, nice to see you. FBI, love from the UK. Thank you so much. We love you here in the United States, but primarily here in Manatee County, Florida. Thank you so much. Happy little tree. Bullhorn Betty's present. Baby Yoda. She is in this morning, had an amazing birthday, and we're just thankful to have her as part of the coffee club crew. Nice to see you. Crystal, Cindy S. Jeez Louise. SHCB. Good morning. Irene, good morning. Vicky, it's nice to see you. Lori, Nancy, Jovi Girl, Ride or Die Nick, love it. Tough Tiff. Ellie Mae, nice to see you. Betsy, oops, my thing just moved up. Where did it go? I guess it scrolled all the way down. Hold on, I got to find everybody again. Oh, okay, I got Vanessa, Cindy, Kathleen, Betsy. I think I went too far down. I am Team Summer, Jacqueline. Chadwell, nice to see you. If I missed you guys' name, I'm still going down. If I miss any of you, it's because my thing just scrolled all the way to the bottom when I was at the top. Dazed, it's nice to see you. Jackie Blue, thank you. Jackie works very hard in sending content over to our Gmail. I'm always filled with stuff to read. I haven't read anything in a few days because I've been dealing with other stuff, which brings in the cupcakes, right? So just working through some personal stuff. Good morning, ZZT. Always here. Always love to have you and love to have your input. You have such wise words. Swiss Miss Elisa, ML Matt, nice to see you. ML Matt, the reason why I want Just Monetized is because they're the ones that really pushed the Summer Wells case to the forefront. If you don't have at least, and it's not to criticize creators, that aren't monetized by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that monetized accounts means you met certain criteria with YouTube to be considered a creator that and I just find it's going to be easier if I had every single person that has a channel up there. It that could go on for a really long time. And again, it's not to be be disrespectful, and quite frankly, if some of the monetized channels don't reach out to me, I may just open it up to public for kind words to say about summer. But again, while I'm in the planning phase, I've got to go through certain criterias. It's not the first time I've planned an event like this, and so it's making sure that people aren't sitting there not doing anything. There's nothing worse than going to an event and everybody's sitting around looking at each other or getting very cliquey and stuff like that. That's not the purpose of this event. The purpose of this event is to come together as a collective body and honor Summer Wells and show our appreciation to law enforcement. That is our primary purpose of being out there. And if people's goals don't align with those primary purposes, they don't need to be a part of this event. So if everybody, and I think everybody, to be honest with you, seems like they want to come together to honor Summer. And that's the unity that we're going to find on June 15th, 2022 from 7 to 9:30. I know a lot of people, they get these ideas, and we're going to go over something here too. They get these assumptions in their head. Okay. They have no basis for the assumption that they're making. They make this assumption, but because they think it must be true. And so they go out there and drive a message that they have no idea what they're talking about. And this is directed. My statements right here are directed to all those hate channels out there. We're not going to call them clip channels because they're not clip channels. They're not. They're bred upon hate. We don't need those types of people out there. We're coming together with love. With love. And if you don't know how to love, stay the hell away. It's just that simple. So we do want a great event. We want everybody to participate that can, but they have to check their egos and they have to check their baggage at the door. Because again, this is about summer. It's about law enforcement doing the best job and honoring them for the sacrifices that they have made in this case. And it is for us to come together in a unified fashion to grieve for this child. Okay? This case has affected every single one of us. Period. You guys wouldn't be out there watching us. We wouldn't be out there commentating on this. I wouldn't have made multiple trips to the area to try to help find some information related to the whereabouts of this baby. And I don't care what the hate says, about this being a monetized channel that we get. They also get those things. There is not one channel out there that does not aspire to being a monetized channel and does not aspire to making money off of YouTube. YouTube has literally classes on how to work from home on YouTube. So let's kill the idea that everybody in here is out to make money. No, we do a great service, which has rewards associated with it. And those rewards are monetary. I'm not going to be ashamed that I make money doing something that I love to do and that inspires other people. There is nothing wrong with what I do. I am very proud of the work I do. And many of you guys are very proud of the work I do. So that's why. Pebbles, good morning. Sage, good morning. Steph, always nice to see you. Ramilda, Crystal, German Shepherd Mom, nice to see you. Bonnie's Journey, Harley's World. And then I have to go back and read all these. We're just doing roll call right now. Mike Stevens, nice to see you, dear. Nice to see you. Harsh reality. It's nice to see you. Oh, justice for all. We have to make it. Are you kidding me? How much money, how much money do we spend? I mean, you go out, you went out, you met us. You have to know how much it costs. I mean, we're talking about $4.50 in freaking gas right now. So, no matter where we go, no matter where in this country we drive to or fly to, you're looking at between $800 and $1,000 to go on trips. Now, take that and multiply that, right? Somebody from our team has been out in the Rogersville area since December, January. We skipped February. Somebody was out there March, April. I believe somebody went out in May or is going out in May, and we're going to be back in June. And even if somebody skipped May, I can understand because we're going to be right back in June. So this stuff is not cheap. Not only that, we went to, Wyoming, Jackson, Wyoming. We went to Moab, Utah. Where else did we go? Tennessee. We did Powell and Moran. I mean, people don't realize because, they're too busy criticizing and they've never gone anywhere. They don't realize how much money is expended versus how much money is brought in. Like literally, I am literally breaking even, if not losing money in some months. And they just think that this is just, they have no clue. And we're going to get, actually, I'm going to pull that up now. I don't know why I didn't pull that up this morning because I was going to talk about it. Let me get over to my community page. Many people respect Albert Einstein. They just do. They respect Albert Einstein because he was a freaking genius. That's why he was a genius. Put this over here. So I'm going to read something that Albert Einstein wrote. Then we'll get back to the rest of this. But it's nice to see you, Justice for All. Nice to see you. So Albert Einstein stated, according to Albert Einstein, assumptions are made and most assumptions are wrong. So 90% of the crap that you're listening to on YouTube about other creators is assumptions. And because they thought it, it must be true, and therefore they spew it. Some of these people know exactly what they're saying is a complete outright lie and still go out there and do it because it drives their narrative. I can personally think of many other quotes about assumptions, and none are really positive. So why do people even allow assumptions to be part of their lives? I should probably put that in a poll and ask why people would allow assumptions to be part of their lives. Assuming makes an ass out of you and me. That's what assuming does. We learned that in high school. Well, that word. We learned that word. Crazy. Okay. Nice to see you. Yeah. But we couldn't do, I mean, they don't realize, like, I'm up at 4 a.m. I don't go to bed until 8, 9 o'clock at night. That's more than a full day's worth of work. And I'm sitting here working. I'm sitting here looking at stuff. I'm looking through my content. I'm looking at videos. I'm researching. For people to actually think that this is not a job is somebody that doesn't do it as a job. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So anyways, let me get back and just see what kind of questions you guys have this morning. And then we'll get on with the majority of our stuff. So, but Anissa's in the chat. Hey. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. So we're back. We're back, guys. Welcome to the coffee club. And then without further ado, I know I have not talked about this language of letting go. I love this book. Many of you guys know I love this book. I have been reading this book for many years, and I always grab something out of it that I haven't, that I didn't get last year or the year before that or the year before that. I always hear it's an amazing book. I don't know how this book does it. But it always seems to give me the message I need to hear that day. And it always seems to apply. It's the most amazing book ever. So this is The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beattie. If you guys haven't gotten your copy, no, this is not an infomercial for her. I'm not getting sponsored by her. This is truly a Bullhorn Betty favorite and promoting it because it is literally a Bullhorn Betty favorite. I have literally been living with this book for years. And today is a great message. And actually, it's kind of funny because it almost, when I was reading this, it almost felt like another part. Like we just heard one I read a few weeks ago. It seems like it's the same writer, unless there's a whole bunch of people that like skydiving. So anyways, this one for May 16th. There it is, May 16th. Only you can assess what to do. I love this. It's a great message. And sometimes I need to hear it. And it goes right into all those hate channels. People telling me what I need to be doing with my own channel and with my own self. I just wish if they spent half the time criticizing themselves as they do everybody else, it might be a better world. That's what I'm thinking. But they won't put themselves under the microscope like they do everybody else, because things will the things that they're hiding by attacking other people will surface. So this is only you can assess what to do. This is May 16th, which is today. It was about my 50th. Oh my gosh, that's expensive. Sorry, let me rephrase this. I missed this the first time. It was about my 50th skydive. I was determined to master the spin thing. When my turn came, I went to the door, pulled myself outside, gave myself the count, ready, set, go. I released my hold and let myself fall into the air. At first, I felt stable, my belly down. Then that dang spinning thing started. I tried to correct my body posture. That didn't help. The last time this had happened, I had spent so much time trying to correct the problem, I had lost awareness of my altitude. I had gotten obsessed with the problem and lost track of time. Not a good thing when you're on the ground, and even worse while falling through the air. I remembered my jump master's words. What are you going to do? Spend the rest of your life trying to gain control. Instead of making further attempts to solve the problem, I would stop it now. By pulling, I yanked my ripcord, and instead of hearing the sweet swoosh sound the one parachute makes when it opens correctly, I heard a heavy thud. I looked up, and I had been spinning so fast when I opened it, it knotted into a mess of lines, twisted and wadded material over my heads. I experienced line twists before, a few twists that could be kicked out with little effort. This was different. I looked like a Chinese braid over my head. This just isn't working, I thought. I pulled my cutaway handle, freeing the knotted mass over my head, and then immediately pulled my reserve parachute. It opened sweetly and immediately. I looked at my altimeter, and I was at 9,000 feet. It was going to be a long ride down. About 5 minutes later, I floated back to the ground. I threw my parachute over my shoulder and tromped back into the student room. When asked what happened, I explained my story. It was full of shouldas and wouldas and couldas. I should have been able to stop the spinning. I should have opened it so high. I shouldn't have opened it so high. I apologized for what I had done and for the fact that my rented parachute, which I cut away, was so high it was going to be tough to find. This wasn't an ideal situation, said the manager of the school. But it's your life. Only you can decide what to do to save it. It's up to you and you alone to decide what's right to do. Some situations aren't ideal. Maybe we shouldn't be in them in the first place. Maybe we should have known better. But the facts are what they are. Don't let shame stop you from taking care of yourself. What are you going to do? Talk to other people. Get opinions. Read books. But it's your life, your relationship, your financial situation, your job, and your home. It's up to you to decide what's best for you. You're the one who will ultimately live with the results of any decision you make. Assess the situation and decide what's right for you. Take responsibility for your decisions and for how best to save your own life. God, help me stop waiting for others to approve what I do or don't do. Guide me in decision making and help me trust the choices I make. That's the word of the day. This again is the language of letting go. I love this. This is a codependency meditation book, and I've lived with it there for a long time. It stayed in my bed, and actually, I picked it up from my bed this morning because I have been leaning on it quite a bit here lately with all the trials and tribulations. You know, it seems glamorous being on this side of the screen, but it's not. It's not. It is tough. It is a lot of work. You know, I work hard. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. And I know others do as well. So if you guys have questions, you might want to rewrite them because I had to skip to the bottom so I can look at the other questions. Guys, don't forget to go out. I know some people forget that when they're on their phones because my face is up there and then they have the live chat. Exit out of that live chat. Go out there and give me a thumbs up for this segment, and then just go back to the live chat. But I really could use those thumbs up. It helps with this channel. It helps with the algorithm. Everything that you guys can do to help push this channel forward is greatly appreciated, and we love that. Okay. Candus should be planning the vigil herself, but no. Yeah, and she should have planned multiple search parties. You know, we've worked with many families that have missing loved ones, and they never sat on their hands. They never sat on their hands. So it's very frustrating. But again, this vigil is a place of love. It is welcoming to all. Anybody that follows the rules are welcome to come. Again, this is a public location. So, you know, it's not going to be for me to say you can't be here. It's going to be for law enforcement. So mind your P's and Q's. Very simple stuff. Okay. Well, you have the choices to make for yourself. And if you can't do it, then maybe the event's not for you. You know, stay for an event that is for you. That's the best advice I can give you because this is coming from love. This is putting all of our petty issues aside and coming together for one little girl. And you know what? At the end of the day, I believe she deserves that much. I believe she deserves that much. So, you know. I don't know. I think she was one of the ones that was saying this was all for financial means. You know, and again, she's got a monetized channel. She's got she's got her Cash App, and she uses the channel to sell her candles. Like, I could care less if she comes. I hope she minds her P's and Q's because again, we're here for a place of love. We're not here for a drama session. We're not here to change the focus off summer to another creator. That's not happening. So I'm hoping that everybody does the right thing and comes here for the sake of summer and leaves and checks their BS at the door for the sake of this baby girl. If they choose not to, they will, you know, the videotapes are going to be running. So if somebody wants to get out of hand, I'm pretty sure, you know, public opinion will take care of that. Because this is not the time or the place. You know, we learned when we were younger, there's a time and place for everything. And this is not the time and place to air out your dirty laundry or fulfill yourself on your grievances that you may have. This is specifically for Summer Wells. And that's where the focus is going to remain, is on Summer Wells and thanking law enforcement for all the work that they have done and will continue to do on this case. I did. I had a very restful, relaxing. I was a little frustrated this weekend, but we're not going to go into that. it had nothing to do with this. It was all personal in nature, but it's just I'm working through some personal issues of my own. I know people don't believe I have a life outside of Facebook, or excuse me, YouTube, but I do. And I'm just dealing with some personal stuff that I've got to work out. So I just been kind of hanging back, trying to clear my mind, trying to, distance myself on social media, so to speak, just a little bit, because sometimes this stuff just eats at you, and I don't like things running space in my head for free. So sometimes I just need to take a step back, and this is going to be a great program this morning. So, you guys didn't get to see me this weekend, but I did post a lot of content. I was able to try to push some stuff out, some interesting stuff that I found out, and we're going to be discussing that as well. Did you guys see I actually found Tennessee state code related to the penal code for child abuse and child neglect and child endangerment. And I just read it. And I'm still kind of, I still don't understand why the parents haven't been arrested for those allegations. But I think there's another step. I think it is the Children and Protective Services that need to bring the charges to the law enforcement for them to investigate, for there to be, I don't know the process. That's what I've got to look into. But if there's no process, I mean, I can't imagine a law enforcement having their hands handcuffed. If they actively see these types of things going on, they should be able to pull the trigger without the Department of Children and Family Services giving them the directive to do so. I mean, they are law enforcement, and the sheriff's department and the sheriff has, some of the most broadest powers in that county, more so than the county government. Like even the county commissioners and stuff do not have broad powers like the sheriff's office does. The sheriff's office has the broadest powers of any elected official and governing body. So I'm still confused about that. I'm still looking into it. I'm still studying it, and I'm still bringing it forward. I'm still bringing stuff that I'm finding out to you guys and letting you guys know about them. But it is pretty, Oh no, that's okay. We don't hate people here. I know people say we hate, but we don't hate. So we're equal opportunity here. Everybody has an equal opportunity to get banned for 5 minutes. Just joking. I'm just joking. You're good. You're good. Yes, I agree. And unfortunately, these are. I wish I could. I still have my signs here, my lock 'em up signs. I mean, I still have everything here, and I'm not even bringing those. I am not bringing those signs, but we can have signs. But I agree with you, Justice for All. You know how I stand. But because it's a love fest, we're going to keep our comments to ourselves. So trust me, I'm trying. What I was been working on for the last, and it's been frustrating me, is for the last few days, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to say. I hope all other creators do the same thing. Think about what you're going to say, because we're not getting into the investigation aspect. We're not getting into our thoughts and theories and speculation. This is all about the love of summer. So we need to critique. And it's like, when I'm writing, it seems like it always wants to navigate over to, the findings, what we found. And I got to stay away from it. Me personally has to stay away from it, because again, I have everything I write down on that piece of paper, everything I'm planning on saying when we're there to the crowd has to come from a place of love. And I got to tell you, trying to put together, because as many of us are, we get frustrated with the slow wheels of justice, and how they move. And sometimes we have to, take back and realize that they are working, and, what do we know and how can we convey our love for summer? And so it is, I find it for myself, difficult because it's like, I want to go right back and just tell Candus about herself and tell Don about himself. But that's not what this is for. That's not what this event is for. This event is for summer. So I'm working very hard. If creators, even you, Justice for All, you were out there with us. I mean, if you want to, have a few words to say, please reach out to me. I think, well, my number. Let's coordinate. I've got to try to figure out how many people would want to say something, and then figure out what the timing on everything they want to say. Even Marissa, I know she, her and I have our tiff. I hope she's, woman enough just to leave the baggage at the door, come in and enjoy herself for the sake of summer. She's been a part of this as well. I think she should have an opportunity to say something as well. I'm trying to make this a place of love. I'm trying to make this fair to all. I'm really trying to reach out and work with anybody and everybody that would like to be here and like to work with me on this project. Not any, we can go back to bashing each other over the heads, on June 16th. But for June 15th, let's just try to come from a place of love and handle ourselves like adults. And I think it'll be an amazing, successful day for all. And it'll get an opportunity for people to see you and showcase you. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of the hate out there on YouTube is fabricated hate. Like some of these people, this is what I find so insane, and I'm sure other creators can agree, is these people have never met me, have never been around me, have no idea where I live, how I live, what I do, what I like, what my favorite color is, what I eat, where I've been, what roads I've been down. They act, but they'll come on here and act like they're an ex-best friend that has all these secrets about my life and me, and they know nothing. This is all in their head, and it comes back to the mental illness that's on here on YouTube. Some people out here that think they're okay, they're not. I can tell you right now, they are not okay. When you start fabricating information and going out there, and not only that, but obsessively hating one person that you've never met in your life, you don't think that there's something seriously wrong? Like, that is like stalker-ish. You know how like these people out there in Hollywood have stalkers? That's what they are on YouTube. These hate channels, they stalk people. It's disgusting. Like, I don't get it. I think people, I really do. I think people just, I think they're blind. They hate so much that it literally fogs them. Like, they just put blinders on and they just want to find out how they can hurt and crush them that they never even met. I remember, I said, I was telling my best friend, her son was in the Army. He did 2 tours and he was in combat. He was, he fired, I can't remember what size gun, he was on the back of tanks and stuff like that. And he would actually go and walk and have physical combat. It was really, when he came back, he suffered a lot. He was in Afghanistan. I believe he was in Iraq. And he, I remember saying something to her, I'm like, I was upset, I was first, so I'm still a newbie on YouTube, but it was like one of the first things, and people just started coming out and just hating, like just hating and saying the worst things. And it's like, I didn't understand it. I'm like, these people, I looked at my best friend. I said, they don't even know me, and they would cheer if I died. Like right now, if something happened to me and I was killed, they would throw a party. I don't even know these people. Like, how sick and twisted is that? Like, how sick and twisted, these people don't know me and they want me dead. And she goes, you know what? She goes, I heard it from my son. She goes, they would go overseas and these people didn't know them from Adam. They just wanted to murder them, kill them. And that's how sick some people are on YouTube. And it's sad. Like, when you go to that point where you actually want somebody to lose their life because you don't like their personality, there is something seriously wrong with you, and I hope you get help. Because there are many people out there like that. And I can name a few right off the top of my head, and I'm sure many of you guys can too. There is something wrong with that. You should not be supporting people like that. Do what you want. Do what you want. But every time you watch a commercial on their channel, you're putting money in their pocket to continue that kind of hate and disgust on YouTube. Just remember that. Everybody likes to see what's behind the curtain. I mean, I got to tell you, people send me stuff of other channels all the time. And as soon as I figure out what channel it is, I won't go to it because I refuse. I don't even care what they say about me. I refuse to watch one advertisement for their channel. I refuse to. I absolutely refuse. I could care less what they have to say about me. I could care less. I refuse to support their channel. And yet they come over to my channel because they're gonna pay me for my advertisement to try to sit there and crush me on their channel, right? I don't do that to them. They only do that to me. Because why? Even though they don't want to admit it, they're making money off Summer Wells, right? They are making, the haters that are saying I'm making money off Summer Wells are also making money off Summer Wells, right? Because they're saying, they're putting it on their channel that Bullhornbetty's making money off Summer Wells, right? And they're going on this tirade about me and Summer Wells. So they, in fact, are actually making the same money off not only me, but baby Summer Wells. Again, hypocrisy. Okay, I wish I could have, but I can't. Yeah. Evil, yes. Oh, good morning, Holly Dolly. Nice to see you. Chas and Junior. I've got a question. If you hit skip, does it still pay them? Yes, it does. Any kind of, even you don't even realize it, but while you're watching it, a banner will come on the bottom and it'll just stay there. That's paying them as well. No matter where you go, if you go on a monetized channel, you are supporting that channel financially, whether you give them 1 penny or not. Whether you're giving them 1 penny or not. You still get paid by premium users. We still pull money off them too for advertisement. So there is no way anybody can watch this channel without supporting this channel. And just like there's no way you can watch an opposing channel and not be supporting them. But I don't really care about people going to opposing channels. That's not what it's the hate channels. It's the pure hate channels. It's the bully channels. It's the hate channels. That needs to go away on Facebook. That needs to be denounced by everybody across YouTube. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. They're not entitled to hate. They're not entitled to be disgusting. I mean, I guess they could be disgusting, despicable people. But there's harassment, bullying. There's laws in all states. And not only that, this hate is getting ridiculous. We just heard about a shooting in Buffalo. And apparently they're going to be charging this person with a hate crime. The hate has got to stop. It has got to stop. You can't oppose hate and support and promote hate. You can't do it. You can't do it. Several of them have. And just because you haven't heard about it doesn't mean it didn't happen. Doesn't mean people weren't out in front of my home, right? People sneaking out around my house because of one YouTuber or a few YouTubers throwing my home address out. Just because you didn't hear about it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. There are sick people, sick and twisted people out there, whether you believe it or not. No, you don't get any ads, but we get for any premium YouTube person that goes on our channel, we do pull monetization funds from that. So even though you're paying a premium not to get ads, they're not penalizing us because you paid a premium to YouTube not get ads. So we still receive credit as if the ads were running when you're on YouTube premiums. I mean, it's not as high, but we definitely pull. Even with premium, we pull advertisement. So. Good morning. Doobie, that do. I love some of these 6 up, 6 down. I hope they raise kids better than how they act. Yeah, I know, right? What a night stalker. Yes, I agree. Bullies need to be stopped. They do. And I've got to say, I've got to say, there's not a whole lot of help here on YouTube. I'm hoping to be a part of change for that. Once I get stuff, get an idea of how I want things, strategically how things need to be done, I start, executing that strategy. Some of those things take months. Some of those things take a couple years. I mean, many of you guys know I've been in the political arena for some time. And, some of my agenda items never get quite pushed right on through. I have never, I mean, even my red light cameras, removing the red light cameras from Manatee County took over a year to get done, over a year, and a lot of help from one of my county commissioners. So it nothing moves quickly, and nothing moves quickly for a corporation like YouTube. But I'm just hoping that, us providing, suggestions and us consistently working with YouTube for changes, I'm hoping that one day it will get there where we can all, be able to have our own space on here without being bullied, attacked, or harassed. And there's a lot of people out there that have gotten too comfortable with breaking the law and thinking it's okay because YouTube, lets it slide. Just because YouTube lets it slide doesn't mean it's okay. YouTube is not the court of law. And I keep telling people that over and over again, and they get themselves in a mess. And then they cry victim when they get themselves in a mess, right? So we've already won one case. There's more cases that we're going to be winning going around the corner. People know I'm tired of putting up with this. And even though I don't publicly come out and say anything to anybody about who, what, when, where, you guys know I'm working behind the scenes and I'm getting stuff done. This stuff moves very slow. So I've been successful. Many people wanted to mock the fact that I have an AA in paralegal studies, right? That I was answering the phones at the law office. That's what they tried to say about me, that I was just a receptionist. Well, I can tell you one YouTuber here now knows was not just a receptionist. And you know what's funny is I have never said anything derogatory or negative about TM. Nothing. Never once have I ever said anything. As a matter of fact, I said kind and nice things about her. For her to get, this lady seems unstable. She just does. She seems hot and cold. She seems up and down. She must be going through some emotional stuff, is what I can think of. But I've never said anything mean about TM. And for her to come out and attack me and then lie about me and say I never responded to her after she deleted not only a message that I wrote when she asked, she said, "Hey, I'm alive, I'm here." I said, "Well, reach out to me on my Gmail and I'll give you my cell phone number." I posted that. I had to go back and edit it to put Gmail, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. So she knew which Gmail I was talking about. And I saved that. And that not only was that, including the edited part, was deleted. And she went on her channel and said that I never made contact with her, which was a flat out lie, because not only did I make contact with her, she actually physically had to go in there and delete that comment. So she lost all credibility in my eyes. She lost all integrity in my eyes. And once you kind of lose that, it takes a lot to gain it back. It takes a lot. I take people on face value. I don't listen to what other people say about anybody else. I let people, I judge people based on my interaction with them, not what others' interactions have been with them. And unfortunately, I have nothing nice to say about her, so I just don't say anything at all. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it comes back to. She's lost respect in my eyes, and I don't know if she'll ever gain that back. But hey, everybody makes mistakes, right? So I try to, if it wasn't for people giving me second and third chances, you know, I wouldn't have anybody in my life, to be honest with you. So I take that into consideration as well. And I try to treat others as I wish they would treat me. Does it work? No, it doesn't. It's changing times. So what do you do? Yeah. Yeah. Well, go to your county commissioners. They'll help put some signs up. Maybe the planning commission. I don't know. I don't know. All right, guys. Well, getting back to some information here, and then we're going to go over some Summer Well stuff. So many of you guys know that our team went down to Moab, Utah. We kind of did a double trip. We had an opportunity to go out to Utah to follow this case, and we decided to make it. What in the world just happened? Why did my... Oh. There we go. Sorry, my screen just dropped down. I didn't know what happened. Anyways, so we went to Moab, Utah, and we went over to Jackson, Wyoming, to follow the rest of the footsteps of Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito. And this was back in November of last year. And so, you know, during our investigation, many of you guys may have heard this. During our investigation, we came across a name, and that name was Adam Pinkowicz. I think it's Swix is how you pronounce it, but I'm just going to call it him Pinkowicz because I just can't get the U.S. into the Wix. Pinkowicz. Pinko. I don't know. But anyways, the girls at McDonald's called him Adam Pincus, and she knew that the name was wrong. And so we had to go back the next day and talk to the manager to get the proper spelling of his name so we could do a background check. So we actually went back there November 14th to get that. That is the same day that we actually met with Lieutenant Kim Neal at the Grand County Sheriff there in Moab, Utah. We also went over to Moab Police Department, but the Moab Police Department was primarily more geared toward Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie and what changes they were going to make in their laws to prevent something like that happening again. And we were able to talk to a lieutenant over there or something like that. I never released that footage, and I hopefully will release that footage soon. Oh, and by the way, Sonia, thank you so much. I did get your Gmail, and I will save that number. Banjo Trance, good morning. Nice to see you guys. Harley Whirl, Race Girl. I think we got everyone. Dake Williams, Lisa, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Krispy Kreme, I see you're in here as well. So I'm glad you guys are having a good communication. I'm not keeping up with the chat, so I do apologize. If you do have some questions that you want me to answer, you may have to put them in a couple times. I apologize about that, but it's hard to, you know, read the screen and be over there in the chat. So please don't forget to go out and give me the thumbs up. You know, we're covering a lot of the cases here. And this is another one where a name that we came across raised to the top of our list. And the reason why it raised to the top of our list is it was really two major factors that made it raise to the top of our list. One of the major factors was, you know, he had a problem with the girls, and he was one of the only people we could find in that town that ever had an issue with Kylan and Crystal. It was geared because of them being a lesbian couple. So more in line with hate because of their sexual identity. That was apparent because he had gotten in a fight with another lesbian couple, as well as Crystal, when she came in there to get a bag of ice and some food. So Adam Pincus was the one that came to the top of our list for that reason, and the fact that he was homeless and never picked up his last paycheck. Homeless people and paychecks go hand in hand. You are not going to walk away from a job when you're homeless and leave your check there, your final check there. It's not going to happen. So that was very interesting and very alarming to us when we were out there trying to find answers in this double homicide. What we ended up finding out is that we went over to law enforcement. We let Kim Neal know that we had some really big concerns about this Adam Pinkshiewicz guy, whatever his name, however you pronounce his name. We had an issue. We not only went out there, we talked to people, we got information, and we relayed that information over to law enforcement. What I find very difficult to this day is that he made us feel inept. He made us feel unwelcomed. Yet on the backside of it, they're asking people to come forward with any information and legitimate tips. Clearly, our information was legitimate because later, 6 or 7 months later, he's now identified as the suspect in this double homicide. And so now they're wanting people to come forward to talk about whether they've seen this car or any other. When you get treated like that, do you think anybody wants to help the Grand County Sheriff identify anything when they are made to feel less than? Take the ego and the testosterone out of law work, out of the investigation, you might get a little more cooperation. And this is why it was so important for us to go out there, folks. The reason why it was so important for us to go out there is because people talk to us. And these people, we've got them on record saying outside of law enforcement coming into that store one time, nobody took their information seriously. We met with 3 employees and nobody took their information seriously. And it took them months and months to finally get to this point. And it's just a shame. And now they want people to assist in giving them information on the car. When you're treated this deplorably by one law enforcement agency, nobody's going to want to come and help you. Who the heck's going to want to come and be treated like that? Right? I would go out there and beat the pavement and find some information for law enforcement if I was treated with a half ounce of decency while I was there. So, you got to, and I had to think, even with the information that we provided to them, it was hard for me to, we started doing? We started reaching out to Jason Jensen to give him the information because I was over dealing with that sheriff. That's how bad it got. Kim Neal sucks. Can't even use a computer. Probably time for him to retire and move on with his career. Get a YouTube channel, Lieutenant Kim Neal. Sorry. So anyways, they did identify Adam. And then, of course, Dog the Bounty Hunter. How can we go any further without bringing up Dog the Bounty Hunter? I have to tell you, I used to watch Dog the Bounty Hunter all the time. I did. I used to love him. I used to love his searches, and it helped me. To be honest with you, Dog the Bounty Hunter, makes me want to go out into the field and search for people. I mean, I've watched him for a really long time. He would be one that I would want to. I like that. But what I don't like is the fact now he's going back and saying, "Oh, wait a minute, they got the wrong guy. They let the guy, the real murderer go." And this was the guy, and I know exactly who they're talking about, so I will explain it to you right now. So the other guy was detained early on in the investigation, actually taken down to police headquarters and was detained because he had this blue car that was described, well, I think it was like a greenish blue or something like that was described that possibly driving slowly by. He worked with Kylan Schulte over at the Moonflower, and he was just acting strange. So they took him in. But he's since been cleared. And not only that, he apparently had no motive and no weapon linked to their case. Now you have this other guy, Adam, that they have now named as the primary suspect in this case. Their case is still ongoing. But this gentleman not only moved out of state, moved to Montana to the best of my knowledge, He spoke to a friend out in Montana and did a full confession of what actually took place and what actually happened out there at that campsite. And then he went on to kill himself. My question is I have a funny feeling he killed himself with the gun that was used to murder the two girls. And I have a funny feeling the reason why he has now been named as the primary suspect in this case is because the ballistics report has come back as being the same gun. We will see. This is all speculation. I have no facts to to back up my statement. This is just my theory, my thoughts on why they've named him as the suspect, knowing that he's dead. The other option would be that his DNA was actually out at the scene. And it could be a combination of the gun as well as DNA out at the scene. We don't know. We really just don't know at this point in time. I'm sure more information will be coming out, but I really think Dog the Bounty Hunter is kind of, just behind the eight ball a little bit. I actually reached out to him when I found out he was going out to Utah to cover those and offered him all of our interviews and all of our footage for his review if he so wanted it. So at the end of the day, that's where we are with the Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner case. Dog does not believe that, sorry, I apparently that it's just going on. Dog does not believe that Adam is responsible for their murders. I believe that he is responsible. He was a name that did come up on our list of people potentially, and he was higher up on the list for the fact that he had already had a previous altercation with Crystal, and he left his final paycheck and has not been seen shortly after their murders. So everything kind of gelled well together on that. And actually, many of you guys know that I left Friday and went on a field trip. I went on a field trip looking for his family, looking for Adam's family to see if we can, one, just tell them that we're sorry for their loss because they, they didn't do this. Their brother did. And so I think I found Enrique, but he didn't acknowledge that he was. And I will show you guys a side-by-side comparison of the gentleman that I met on Friday and Mr. Adam Pinkowicz right here, and see if what you guys think. We might have to do a poll if you think I truly ran into his brother or not. I even went over to the alleged sister's house. She did not come to the door, which was expected after meeting the brother, because we've done this before where I tag teamed right after another. But because she was so much further away, I couldn't get to her before the phone calls probably came in. I don't know. So, yeah, Betsy, I agree about Dog. That's what I'm seeing too. Many of you guys don't realize I interviewed Dog the Bounty Hunter. I actually interviewed, and my interview is actually on TMZ. If you guys go there and look for Dog the Bounty Hunter outside of Cassie Laundrie's house, you'll recognize the voice speaking directly to Dog the Bounty Hunter. Yes, yours truly. I did that interview. So I've met Dog the Bounty Hunter face to face and actually had an opportunity to interview him. And again, it's on TMZ. So, and it was out in front of Cassie Laundrie's house. So if you guys want to see some of the work, go over to TMZ. Go over to TMZ. Many don't know I did that. I find it interesting that many think they know so much about me, but don't know anything about me. Yes, it was. It was me. I played it on here, but I had to remove it because even though I was the interviewee, it is TMZ's material, so I can't use it, which is crazy, right? Which is crazy. So there's that. And, going over to the Crumblies, many of you guys don't know, Ethan's got some of you guys know we're trying to get out to Michigan. We are covering this case when we go out to Michigan, but we're not covering the same stuff everybody else is covering. Everybody else is covering what's going on with mom, what's going on with dad, what's going on with this kid that shot up the school. We're not covering that. We are covering this case, but I'm not going to spill the beans on what we are doing when we get out to Michigan. We were supposed to be out there already. There were some nuances that came up. So we were actually considering possibly going up there to cover this case on this trip to Tennessee. We figured we'd dovetail over there after, on the 16th, just drive on up because Olivia is going to be out there as well. I've already reached out to Dolly Vision. Hopefully he will come out there with us, but we're not going to Michigan. We have decided that Michigan is too far of a drive from Rogersville, and then the drive from Michigan back home is just going to be too much. We're not going to do it. So we are actually going to be covering a case that many of you guys have been begging us to cover over in Indiana. And not going to go too much into that, but we plan on, getting some more information and going over to Indiana after we are done with the vigil in Rogersville, Tennessee. We'll see how all that works out. We'll keep you guys posted on it. But as always, when we have the band together, it always is nothing short of amazing. So anyways, Ethan has a trial set for September 6, 2022. And I'm starting to think, with the gas prices and everything and the ticket prices, it might behoove us to wait until the September time, because how interesting it would be for us to cover a different aspect of this case, but still be able to get some raw clips of him in court. Or, with my press badge, I can usually request footage from the camera crews and stuff in there to be sent to me, so we have good quality footage of the hearing. So I'm kind of, I'm thinking we're weighing that. Olivia and I have a few more, business meetings before we make a firm decision on what we're going to do and which direction we're going to go. But there are a lot of stuff in place for us to do a few other things. And again, guys, a lot of people want to, spread misinformation. These channels don't make a whole lot of money. And I can tell you our travel expenses are quite expensive. And we go as cheap as possible. Believe me, we go as cheap as possible, and it's still pretty expensive. And for us to continue to bring quality content to you and actually bring you content from the scene instead of from our homes, it costs us a lot of money to put on those types of productions. So if you guys do feel charitable at that time, we already raised about, I think it was $375 for our Michigan trip so far. If you guys do decide you want to help support and sponsor this channel and help and support our field work, please don't hesitate to do so, no matter what the hate tells you, because all the funds that we get truly do go back into this channel and truly do go back and bringing you quality content, real, authentic content, not somebody else's content, our own content with our own boots on the ground. And at this point, we have to be getting some kind of street cred with us being correct about the dirty laundries, and us being out there and fighting for Gabby Petito, and us being, us doing the work necessary for Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner, and us bringing a legitimate name to the sheriff's office out there. That's street cred. And then that person being named a person of interest. Now, if we can clear this Summer Wells case and our information was damn near close to accurate, that's 3-0, baby. There's not haters out there that can justify with our results. So we do work. We take this as a job. We work very hard. We really do go out to try to find the truth. The clicks, the financial aspect of it, that's just a bonus to what we do. Our hearts are in the right place, and I'll be damned if somebody's going to tell me where my heart is and why I'm doing what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a little minute yet, long before I made it to YouTube. So their lies are falling on deaf ears, and I hope you guys know when we get together, we truly work from the heart, and I think that's the reason why we are so wildly successful in our endeavors. And then lastly, we're just going to get some updates for Summer Wells. And I found some things interesting. Many of you guys have been watching this Chris McDonough interview with Mary, the phone call, and I'm telling you, it is a sick. If you guys go over there to watch that interview, it's a trigger warning. Does not do its justice. Okay, I will tell you personally. The stuff I heard made me sick to my stomach. But there's some things that just in and of itself don't sound right. Okay, he was talking about his stepsister being a young girl and how he didn't realize this young girl shouldn't have had these feelings and how inappropriate it was. And he talks about some things that just show to the level of how sick and depraved his mind is. And he thinks it's okay. And he thinks him explaining this and how he's explaining this is justifying things, which even make him more sick and twisted and make you realize how truly a predator this man is. So much so, it is changing my mind as to whether there was SA associated with Summer Wells. I've never come out publicly. It's something that I cannot prove, so I never brought that up. But based upon some of the statements that were made on this Chris McDonough interview, I have stepped back and thought, okay, let me go to the first interview that they had. And then actually, let me get there now. I want to get to that interview. I emailed it to myself, one of the first interviews they had, and I want you to hear something. This is what took me back.
A lot. I know she didn't walk away from this property by herself or off this yard.
We're just going to listen to it.
I feel in my heart that somebody has came up here and took her, has lured her away from here. Me and my mother and her were planting flowers. And
yeah, that's not true.
After we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma.
We know that's not true.
She wanted to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay. And I walked her all the way over to the porch. And I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer. I'll be back. And within 2 minutes, I came back. And I asked the boys where their sister was. And they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay.
Here's a problem I have. If you notice this, she's saying this now. And I know we've watched this interview a couple times, but every time I watch it, I get something new out of it. And I know, and I behoove other creators to go back to the original beginning of this and watch. You're going to pull a lot of information out of these interviews now. Hindsight's 2020. Now that we know that they're not cooperating, now that we know that they have lawyered up, now that we know certain factors of this case to be 100% true and accurate, now we can go back and start looking at all this stuff. And we played this not too long ago. I want to say it was about 30 days ago when we were going back to revisit this case and revisit these interviews. This was one of the interviews that I did pop up on my live. And this is one of the interviews that we broke down. I got more out of it this time. It's like every time I listen, I get more out of it. You just heard her blame her boys. I told the boys to watch them. You're going to hear Dawn blame the boys. But if anybody's been paying attention to Chris McDonough's interview that he had on his show, and I hope everybody goes over there and listens to it. I think it was a 2-hour live he did with Mary, the stepsister to Don Wells. I hope you guys listen to it. And when you do, and you hear this statement that's about to come up, you're going to say, it's going to dumbfound you. I didn't hear this when I first was listening to it. I listened to this interview, I want to say I don't know if Justice for All is still in here, but I'm sure he's even heard this interview. He's probably listened to this interview intently and listened to every word that's coming, but there's still stuff missed. Let's go over it. Now, this is going to be 12 minutes. We're only 1 minute into it, so stick with me until the end. I will stop it if I think of something that pops in my head, but I want you to hear some of Don's comments in this original interview that was given to WJHL shortly after Summer disappeared. So stick with me.
Okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. I don't go on walks around here or runs because I'm scared of the bears and snakes.
See, she's having to correct herself there because in the, I don't know how the call got leaked, but there is a call out there that does have her calling and saying that she went for a walk and came back and her daughter was gone. We know that these things aren't true. But listen, she is trying to walk stuff back that she said. She's saying she would never go for a walk. Yet she allowed her children to play outside unattended multiple times in accordance to statements made by Don Wells. So why would you allow your young children to be unattended, yet you wouldn't even be out there walking or going riding in the forest because of the animal life and things like that?
And even the coyotes that are around here. Well, whoever has my daughter, I pray and hope that they have not harmed her and they bring her back to us safe and sound.
Just go to the FBI, the police, and clear it up.
Don't you find that odd? He's so cavalier in his comments. Now, you think some bad person has kidnapped your child and doing unthinkable things to this child, and look at his face. No concern, no worry. Yeah, if you took her, why don't you just go to the FBI and clear it up? I don't know how you're going to do it, but please go there. We'll take Summer back whenever you decide to give her back. Thank you for your time. I mean, come on. Give me a freaking break. He's talking so cavalier. It's unnerving.
And I don't know. It seems kind of elusive.
I don't know. It seems kind of elusive. I'm sorry. The stuff is just irritating. And I know I bring this up every time I see this. So I'm going to move past the stuff we already know. I want you guys. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you so much for your super sticker. I appreciate it. But I want you guys. It's going to be coming up here shortly.
It's really strange that I've never seen this truck and I've never heard of it until just recently. But I wish they would come forward and explain themselves. And if you're not a suspect, at least come forward and say what you've seen. She was a tomboy. I shaved my head. She wanted to have her head shaved.
Now watch this. You're going to hear the change. She got off script with this, and you're going to watch Don Wells fix it. This is not what we're here to discuss, but I just want you to hear it. She's like, oh, she's a tomboy, and I shaved my head, so she wanted to shave her head. Now you're going to listen to Don come back and say, nah, that's not how it happened. Let me tell you how it really happened. Because everybody knew that was a BS statement, and it would never pass mustard.
Like me and the boys did.
She tried to shave her head.
She tried
in
to
the
shave her
back
head
and make it. I think you can see it in some of the pictures, and it was getting out of control. So we decided to shave her head off and let it grow back long, and she shaved her head so she wouldn't feel bad.
So Candus just said she shaved her head, and so Summer wanted to shave her head because of Candus shaving her head. This is, like, again, a nuance, but and I won't spend too much more time on this. But here Don is saying, you're off script. Let me explain it how it was really done. When we had to shave her head, then Mom shaved her head so she wouldn't feel so bad. Contradictory statements in less than 30 seconds. It's ridiculous. But this is not the point I'm trying to make.
And but it didn't bother at this point. Well, I knew right away that she was abducted I knew that right away, and that's what I told them from the beginning. But they have to go through their, I forget the word.
Investigation.
They have to do one step at a time, I guess. But I'm sorry that they had to spend so many man hours in these woods and everything. I've seen them limping and everything else, and I feel for them. But I just wish there was a way that neighbors could search neighbors' houses, and then if they're not willing, get a search warrant or something. But there's just no way you can search every single house, in the eastern United States or whatever. But I wish there was a way. Just thankful for the person or persons that's doing that, out of love, trying to get information and trying to get her found. We thank them from the bottom of our hearts.
That means a lot.
And we thank everybody who's trying so hard and praying so hard. And she's an awesome young lady. And
that was it. Did you hear that? She was an awesome young lady. Why is that statement so important? This is what made me change my mind about whether she could have potentially been essayed. And here's why. Because on Chris McDonough, he kept saying little girl. I didn't realize now when we're adults, we know about little girls. He never called his daughter a little girl. He called her a young lady, a 5-year-old, a young lady. And so it makes me kind of step back, because this interview just came out on Chris McDonough, and we kept hearing over and over again, little girl, little girl, little girl. And when he describes his own daughter, he's describing her as a young lady. And think about the predatory mindset of trying to differentiate between a little girl and a young lady. And so this is the pivotal moment that I never caught on the many times that I listened to this interview, and a light bulb did not go off on top of my head until I revisited this yesterday. And I revisited, was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. It's on my Gmail. So this is a little suspect in his wording. We're going to continue to go, but that was the statement. That was the crux of me bringing this to us again and rewatching this again, because this is after the Chris McDonough interview where Mary had Don on the phone, basically confessing to the allegations and corroborating the information about his younger stepsister, 5 years old, and he's calling her a young girl, but his own 5-year-old daughter, he's now referring to as a young lady. And so this kind of this made the hair on the back of my neck stand up when I was listening to this, because again, it was after the Chris McDonough interview. And, I'm going to reach out to see if I can take segments of the McDonough interview just to break down, and hopefully he'll give me the permission necessary to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to just take some snippets of it, but I'm hoping he'll give me full-fledged permission to kind of cut these and put these together, because it was very telling. It's very concerning now for me, listening to this language coming out of his mouth after hearing that interview on Chris McDonough.
We just want her back. Yeah, there's always going to be haters, and it's always going to be that way in this world. And we just want to focus on the good friends and Christian people that are trying to help us and praying for us and praying for Summer. And we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. And that's the kind of people we try to relate with and socialize with. So we don't know anything about, no red truck, or we hardly know many of our neighbors. I mean, because we just try to be.
He's saying he hardly knows any of his neighbors. Well, I kind of find that funny because all of his neighbors know who they are and have known about them for years. They don't even walk. Oops, excuse me. Let me pull that off. I don't want people get my shit. Sorry. I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Where is that video? I'm gonna have to do it again. I probably am. Sorry, guys. I don't remember where we were, so hopefully.
Lady, and we just want her back. Yeah, there's always going to be haters, and it's always going to be that way in this world, and we just want to focus on the good friends and Christian people that are trying to help us and praying for us and praying for Summer, and we thank them from the
There's another part that's going to be coming up.
Kind of people we try to relate with and socialize with. So we don't know anything about, no red truck, or we hardly know many of our neighbors. I mean, because we just try to be around good people. I mean, and we do have good people in this area. We found out since this has all happened. We got some real good neighbors and good folks everywhere. But
the most important thing is to bring Summer home safe. I'm sorry that you feel this way about us, but we love our children with everything we have.
I'm not sure, and this is another thing that comes up. Hey, Snow, nice to see you, honey. Here's another thing that comes up that she says she loves her children. I don't know if they know how love works. You may think that is a crazy statement to make, but in all reality, there are some people that just don't know what true love is or how to convey true love in an appropriate manner. And these are two people that I believe have no earthly idea what parenting is all about, what parenting truly is all about. Because both of them have other sets of kids. Other sets of kids have been removed from Candus's custody. I believe Don never raised his children. So, this is the one statement that we had confirmed by TBI. Our team had confirmed by TBI that this is an untrue statement. So how that worked, how did we confirm that with TBI that was not accurate, is because Jonathan made a post on Twitter. Many of you know I had mistaken a post with the shoe, but this was the post that was speaking about, he had posted asking, he tagged TBI in it, and he said something to the effect of, many people have brought to the attention that there was a child walking down the road. Is that true? And Leslie, the spokesperson for TBI, actually responded back to Jonathan and said they have no evidence that there was any child walking on the road alone in and around the Beach Creek or Ben Hill Road area. So that we have confirmed 100% from TBI themselves that is not accurate. So again, we talked about, I put a video out about, misinformation that was on YouTube, and I believe that was part of the misinformation in which they were speaking of. So
we've never went without, thanks to Summer's daddy and my husband. He's always provided for us and has worked as much as he could and can.
And she says in this statement that he's always provided for them, but in other statements, she's talking about how he would take all of his money when he got paid and disappear for days and weeks on end, leaving her to fend for herself with no money or food or resources to pay bills.
And still is. And I'm sorry that you guys feel that way, but that's my baby, and nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around.
Did you guys hear how long it took her to force that out of her mouth? As long as I was around, she was around. Her daughter's missing. Her daughter's missing under her watch.
Ever.
She loves to dance. She would always want me. She says, "Daddy, hold my hand so I can twirl." And she would just like to twirl and twirl and twirl until my arm got tired, you know. But I put out there that one of Summer's favorite songs was Godzilla, and they say, and they're jumping all over me about past tense was, well, I'm sorry.
He's trying to justify why he always uses past tense, and then he screwed up the script, and you're going to listen to Candus fix it.
Sorry about that.
She also liked the song by
There you go.
It was called House, My House. She sung that a lot of times when I play it on the TV. She loved to dance.
She liked to think of herself as a princess, and and all that, like all young girls do. And
she loved Frozen. She loved to be that Elsa and
girls with long hair.
And I think she really loved to be in church because she felt a lot of love there. And I think you can't explain what that love is, but you feel it and you know it, when you're young. And she felt that there, and she loved everybody in that church, or she loves everybody in that church. I should rephrase that because they'll tear that apart as past tense, and I apologize again for that. I hope she gets to come home, and I hope she gets to be with our church family again.
Our best friend in that church was Robin. She loved her to death.
Yeah, she looked up to women that were.
She come to that church, she went looking for Robin. That was her favorite person.
Any woman that was professional, that
was pretty, beautiful.
She looked up to those kind of women. She, they were the word.
Everything opposite of her mother.
Can't think of it, but she looked up to them. She'd give them a run for their money every day. She'd give them a run for their money, and there was times, we'd be, at our boys like, don't do this and don't do that. And next thing you know, a stick would come up and just whop them, and be like, Summer, don't do that.
Summer was the boss of the family. She
typical girl.
When they get on a line, she'd put them in line.
She'd do her best.
She loved to play in the mud and the water and swing on her.
The next point I'm bringing up is going to be coming up here shortly.
When I run the lawnmower around, she would run behind me. When the boys run their bikes around, she, as fast as that little bike could go, she would be behind them running and keeping up with them, no problem. She loved to run. She just loved to run, and she could pull herself up on that swing, her full body weight with her two hands, and she could do that. None of the other boys can do that, but she can.
Was she at school yet?
No, she's going this year.
So none of the boys can pull themselves. Have you guys seen that swing? That swing was close to the ground. I think any child could climb up on it. For some reason, he's saying the boys couldn't climb up it. Even his 11-year-old Josie couldn't climb up on that swing. And this is just, it's not an important fact, but it just shows that he is deceptive. I mean, he can't even describe an event without being deceptive in one way or another.
It's supposed to be her first year.
She's been, we did all the, what?
I took care of everything. Yeah. I had her already taken all of her shots and registered in the school ready for this year.
I just never expected for anyone to get a hold of my heart like she has, because I try to guard my heart as much as I can, but she holds my heart. And
We're about to hear a guilt statement.
I love her with all my heart. I'd do anything to have her back.
Little girl.
If there's any way you can find it in your heart to please release her somehow. I don't know how you might do that. I mean, you're probably scared of going to prison for the rest of your life and everything else, I'm sure.
I believe they're scared of going to the prison for the rest of their life. That's just my commentation on that statement, but that's not the statement I'm referring to. You're going to hear a guilt statement here shortly.
Sure. Lord, please find it in your heart, have mercy, and find a way of letting her go, and where we can get her back. And just please have mercy on her, and and us, and her brothers. And she's such a loving, good spirit. Please don't hurt her. Please let her come home. That my biggest fear is, her being tormented or locked in a dungeon or basement or something.
They had her.
She loved to be outside all the time. That was her, unfortunately, her downfall. Because a lot of times the boys would be inside and we'd be like, "Where's Summer? Why'd you leave her out there alone?"
There's the second. I told you at the beginning, Candus blames the boys at the beginning. Here you've got Don blaming the boys. Where's Summer? Who's the parent here? Who's the parent? Why are they blaming the boys? I'm wondering how much psychological and emotional issues these other kids and their family, the three boys, have being blamed for their little sister's disappearance. Pass the buck. And who do they pass the buck to? The children.
Alone. Go get Summer now. And that's happened over and over again. And we'd come out and she would always be close by, but we was always coming. She had to be outside. She was an outdoor person. And
she loved to be outside.
And I'm so afraid that she's locked away. She's such a loving heart and everything, and I'm afraid that she won't be able to, I'm locked away where she can't be outside or play with a puppy or anything, love nature, and that's my greatest fear, that she's not able to do any of these things anymore, or that she could possibly, I don't want to think she's dead, but it's a possibility. I don't want to address all the negativity. I just want to focus on the positive, because it's so easy to get, lost in that negativity and stuff, and it's just not worth it. So I'm just, I appreciate y'all, the good things you say, and your prayers. That's awesome.
I think it's about to come up right now. We're going to see. I may have missed it, but if I didn't, I think it's coming up right now.
When my sister went missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee. I don't know all of what happened or what did happen, but I hope that they find her too and bring her home safely too.
Yeah, there's nothing. She disappeared without a trace. They haven't found anything, haven't found a body, nothing. And when you see cases like that, that's why I lose hope on Summer. I want to keep hope, but sometimes I lose hope.
Lose it.
And I think, well, maybe we won't never see her again, so I start thinking in past tense. Sorry. But I'm trying to keep hope up. I'm trying to keep my prayers up and all that.
Oh, no, we did miss it. So what he did say is, I don't know where it is in here. I have to go back and check it, that he is sorry that law enforcement was out there, that he is apologetic that law enforcement had to go out there and search for his daughter. And he's sorry about this. I know we had to have heard it because we played the whole thing. I just must have missed it. And that was the guilt of him having law enforcement having to look for, knowing that she's not around. And so I will find that clip. I will bring it to you guys tomorrow. We'll keep moving on with some of the stuff that we have here. So another part is, and this is going to be very interesting. Let me go ahead and pull this back up.
I got the number here.
Hold on.
So,
got the wrong clip.
then. Okay. Thanks for coming. We appreciate everybody coming so that we can speak.
Sorry about that. I was trying to get this one over, but it wasn't moving.
Well, hi, YouTube. So, now it's time to get to the law in Tennessee and why it's so frustrating for people like me not to understand why Candus and Don are not arrested for unrelated charges, other than Summer's disappearance. So here is the 2020 Tennessee Code, Title 39, Criminal Offenses, Chapter 15, Offenses Against the Family, Part 4, Children, Section 39 15 401, Child Abuse and Child Neglect or Endangerment. And this is the code in which I was referring to as the low hanging fruit related to their conduct prior to their boys being removed from their home. And I just want to read here for you so you know why it is so important for law enforcement to charge these parents with crimes unrelated to Summer's disappearance. Any person who knowingly, other than by accident means, treats a child under the age of 18 years of age in such a manner as to inflict injury commits a Class A misdemeanor, provided, however, that if the child is 8 years or less, the penalty is a Class D felony. And they had 4 children in there, 2 of which I'm of the belief were under the age of 8 years old. Definitely Summer, but I believe her brother, just a little bit older than her, was under the age of 8. But they have been committing these types of crimes since these children were the age they were when Summer disappeared. So there's multiple Class D felonies that can be levied upon Don Wells and Candus Bly, including Candace Harer. Any person who knowingly, now we're in Section B, any person who knowingly abuses or neglects a child under the age of 18 years of age so as to adversely affect the child's health and welfare commits a Class A misdemeanor, provided that if the abused or neglected child is 8 years of age or less, the penalty is a Class E felony. C, a parent or custodian of a child 8 years age or less commits child endangerment who knowingly exposes such child to or knowingly fails to protect such child from abuse or neglect resulting in physical injury or imminent danger to the child. 2, purposes of this subsection C. It defines it. Imminent danger means the existence of any condition or practice that could be reasonably expected to cause death or serious bodily injury. Knowingly means the person knew or should have known upon a reasonable injury that abuse to or neglect of the child would occur, which would result in physical injury to the child. The risk must be of such a nature and degree that the failure to perceives it constitutes a gross deviation from the standard of care that an ordinary parent or legal custodian of a child 8 years of age or less would exercise under all circumstances as viewed from the defendant's standpoint. And C, a parent or custodian means the biological or adopted parent or any person who has legal custody of a child. 3, a violation of subsection C is a Class A misdemeanor.
So there you go. There is the law related to Tennessee child endangerment, child neglect charges. There it is, black and white. There's a video on my page related to that. And this I just released yesterday. We're going to go through it again, just so people have factual information to the best that we have from TBI. A lot of people are concerned about this and are concerned about that. Hopefully this does clear it up. And then we will leave out with just one little tidbit snippet that a supporter sent. Hold on, it's taking a little.
So let's discuss the information that we know, right? So here is updates from the TBI newsroom, and I'm just reviewing it. This was released early on in the investigation. And again, when we're at this point in the case, it's good to go back and review what has happened at the beginning of this case. So here, let's just go over some of the information that we know. When was Summer last seen? Her mother reports last seeing her on the afternoon of June 15th at their home at the 100 block of Ben.
Now, this is something that Justice for All brought up. If Justice for All is still here, he can commentate on it. Go to his page. He discussed it on one of his lives about what is considered afternoon, what is considered late afternoon, and things of that nature. Now, these are specifics, okay? These are specifics that are coming from TBI, and we have to pay close attention because they are very, very specific on their language. They never just send out statements, especially online or to the public, without it going through multiple reviews, multiple hands, multiple approval process, and making sure that it's 100% factual what they provide to the public. And so they're saying here that Summer was last seen on the afternoon of June 15th. On the afternoon. They didn't say evening. They didn't say late afternoon. They specifically said the afternoon she was last seen. We have to take that word as correct. And this is going to dovetail back into statements that Don Wells made, and we are going to see that as well. So here we are hearing from TBI, specifically from TBI, that her mother reports last seeing her on the afternoon of June 15th. When was the missing person called in to law enforcement? In the early evening hours at 6:30 p.m. That is a wide area, a wide time frame from afternoon to evening. So, guys, we have to be very specific on these words to understand what truly transpired without assuming anything. They're saying her mother saw her in the afternoon of June 15th, the afternoon. Big difference. And again, Justice for All explained what afternoon is, what early afternoon is, what late afternoon is, what evening is. I believe he explained all of that. So let's keep going.
Hill Road. In order to preserve the integrity of the investigation, they are not providing any additional information on the timeline. But we already have Candus's statement related to the timeline, as well as Hunter's. So we're going to review that as well in a different segment. Have you searched the home and property around the residence? This is interesting. So they say, yes, they've done it more than once, including the basement, crawl space, all vehicles, all outbuildings. They've looked in the barrels. People have asked about the barrels here recently. They've checked those barrels. The barrels that were on the property at the time of their search have all been checked. And other items located on the property. Additionally, they've had multiple canine teams that do a variety of search methods. So what does that mean? That means they've got, scent specific dogs, cadaver dogs, and any other canine team that specializes in locating a human or a person. Have you searched the phones, computers belonging to the Wells family? They're saying yes, working alongside Hawkins County Sheriff and the FBI, numerous subpoenas and search warrants have been obtained resulting in any available digital evidence being collected, searched, and documented. And this includes social media accounts. Here is where people have a lot of questions because, we've heard rumors, no necessarily firsthand knowledge, except some claims that Candus has brought up that, she's thrown a phone into the water. She threw her phone and broke it in the back of the truck the day she went missing. We've heard all those things. Do they have that? But the good news is they said they've received numerous subpoenas and search warrants. So that means they can go to the phone companies and pull the information directly from the phone companies. Why is this important? Because Candus has used phones to call the sheriff's office multiple times, for arguments she's gotten into with Don Wells. So they're pretty well aware of what her phone number is. And I believe that they're able to provide, get search warrants based upon the phone numbers, which will lead to the, phone information and any phone that she changed that number to. So I'm pretty confident that they will be able to piece together the phone information. Many people have asked, have they searched the flower bed? There was not a flower bed. Summer's mother and grandmother stated she was planting flowers with them shortly before she was last seen. The flowers were planted in pots, and yes, the pots were examined. Have you searched waterways in the area? They've had dive teams out there. We've got photography of the dive teams in bodies of water in and around the area. Have you conducted aerial searches? They've done numerous aerial searches from the air, have been completed during the first few weeks after Summer went missing. Additionally, drones were used to map the area.
And I also want to tell you guys, this is something I learned in the Brian Laundrie case. When you have a dense populated area with a lot of shrubbery, a lot of trees, almost a forest like area, it is very difficult to use aerial drones and even sonar because the brush covers some of that heat. So even if they use some heat sonar or radar or whatever it is, that it becomes very difficult in the type of terrain that they're in, especially when there's a lot of trees, shrubbery, bushes. They can see it in some cases they can't. And we learned that in the Brian Laundrie case.
And pinpoint bodies of water as well as other points of interest. Will additional searches be conducted? Investigators will continue to search points of interest as they are developed, as well as follow up on all tips regarding Summer's whereabouts. Have you collected and reviewed surveillance video? They're stating, yes, we've collected surveillance photos and videos from a variety of locations. Additionally, the entire area was canvassed in an effort to locate any residential cameras that weren't voluntarily reported, rather. Please keep in mind that the Beach Creek area of Hawkins County is very rural with few businesses and no traffic cameras. Have you questioned both of the parents? They're saying yes, they've questioned them. We know that to be true. Have you questioned neighbors and searched their properties? They're saying yes. Have you questioned registered sex offenders in the area? They're stating yes, they have. Is there evidence of that Summer was abducted? Again, is there evidence that Summer was abducted? None that we've developed at this stage. So, no, we're coming back again. There is no evidence that she was abducted. It's in black and white right here. I know Don Wells has been stating over and over again that his child was abducted. Candus has stated over and over again that her child was abducted. According to TBI, the FBI, and local law enforcement, that is not true.
So there you have it, folks. That is not true. If you guys want to watch the rest of it, please be sure to go and watch that on my page. We do have that. And then lastly, this is from a fan. She made this and I love it. So I wanted to play it for you guys as we wind down this segment of the Bullhorn Betty channel. And here you go. Let me pull it back up. So hopefully it's not going to hit on the right page, but oh, it did. Isn't it not coming up? Fan made this. You shut it out, but I can't hear a word you say. I'm talking loud, not saying much. So we want to thank the beautiful person that decided to make that for me. I thought it was super sweet and wanted to showcase that on the Bullhorn Betty channel. We love our fans. We love our subscribers. We love our members. And more importantly, we love our dedicated mods on this channel. Without them, this channel would probably be a shit show. Right? I mean, we have to give credit where credit is due. And without our faithful mods and the love and support that they provide this channel, we would have every troll under the sun in here. But they whack-a-mole. So they whack-a-mole a troll. And we're very thankful for them. We are very thankful for all the people that do come here and watch this channel, support this channel, and support the work that we do. I tell you, sometimes it is rough. It is rough on everybody, every creator that has covered the Summer Wells case. There's not one creator that has covered the Summer Wells case that has not been a target of hate or, in some of the stuff, in all reality comes from this channel. Like when I first started out, I didn't know who Cam and Allie were. I ended up, attacking Cam, which I think he's a great guy. And it was because of the attacks we were getting. And it was wrong. It was wrong. And I don't mind admitting when I was wrong. And I actually changed the channel. We were kind of, when I first started out, geared toward that drama. And yeah, it built the channel up a lot, but at what cost? And I had to take a real good look at what kind of channel I wanted to be. And a lot of changes have been made since December of last year related to this channel. And a lot of that was me not feeding in to the hate. And while it does sometimes rub where I have to address certain things, and I try to do it very tactfully, we don't like calling creators out. Now, there is a nuance to that. And I think, the nuance is Benny Keys, all right? Our friend Benny Keys. He put himself in there and him and I butted heads and we've done some despicable things to each other. I'm very thankful that him and I, for at least one day, are going to be putting those things aside and going to try to do a benefit for the benefit of Summer Wells. And I'm thankful for that. Yeah. And I actually love Cam and Allie too. I think they're great people. I really do. I think they're great people. I think their hearts are in the right spot. And that's really the only requirement necessary for these types of cases. We have opposing opinions. So what? It makes for great debate. And, but I do believe their hearts are in the right place. I do believe that they are good people. And I don't want to ever take that away from them. Just because we don't agree on what happened doesn't take away that they are good people. And I'm very thankful for them. And I hope they come out to the event that we're having. I think they said they were. Would love them to have, a few minutes to speak about their experience and to say some great things about Summer Wells at that candlelight vigil. So hopefully, I know there's a lot of people that bounce from channel to channel. Let your creators know, whoever, if you know that they're coming, that I would really like, sweet, this is to benefit Summer. So if they have any nice, kind words to say about Summer and say about law enforcement, I want them to have a few minutes to speak, at this vigil. So let them know that, that's our intention. So if they could reach out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, I would greatly appreciate it. Anybody that wants to speak gets an opportunity to speak. Depends on how many come forward. We'll have to figure out the timing of how much time they're allotted. But we definitely want this. This is not, a Bullhorn Betty event. This is a Summer Wells event. And we want to make sure that, one, the rules are followed while we're at this event, because again, it's for a baby girl. It's not about me. It's not about them. It's not about even you. It's about Summer Wells. It's about supporting law enforcement so they can do their job and saying great things about the work that they have done. It is time to, give love and receive love. And so I think this will be a great event. And it'll showcase that just because what you see on YouTube is not what you get in person. These people are humans. They have hearts. Sometimes we are a little ruthless on YouTube. It doesn't change the fact that we're human beings with feelings, right? So, and I think that's got to be true for everybody that's going to be attending. This is going to be a great event for, viewers as well, because you will finally get to meet and greet some of your favorite creators all in one spot, and you take pictures with the ones you like and don't take pictures with the ones you don't like. There's going to be enough to go around for everybody. I know a lot of people from this channel's going, a lot of people from Dolly channel's going. Benny Keys has people coming. All these people have fans that are coming out to this event. So it's going to be a great place for you to meet and greet your favorite creators, your YouTube creators. It's also a great place for all of us to get together and honor this beautiful baby girl that sacrificed so much. And we have to give her credit where credit's due. And she did save her brothers. Nonetheless, she saved her brothers. We love Summer. We are Summer's Army. All of us are Summer's Army. And I think that this is going to be an amazing event. I think it's going to be a great time for everyone, and all that stuff that is going around, guys, it's going to be in front of the sheriff's office. I can guarantee you the sheriff is not letting anything pop off at this event. So if people are looking for a drama-laced event, it's not going to be it. You know what? There's probably going to be more tears in that audience than there are anything else, because it's almost too real. We were so hopeful back in June and July and August that she was going to be found and brought back safe. And we're here a year later and she's nowhere to be found. This is real. This is a baby, a 5-year-old baby that's now 6 years old. And it's anybody with a heart. I just can't imagine. I can't imagine, it's hard on us. It's hard on you. We're all searching for answers. We're all searching to find, to have, closure. We're all searching for closure. And unfortunately, we're not going to have closure until we have closure. But what we can do is come together, bring our hearts together, bring our minds together, and try to do something amazing while we're all together. I always talked about when I first got into this case, if all the creators that are fighting could just unify and just come together and just put their heads together, there's so much more that can be accomplished. And I'm hoping this might be the first step in that direction. We will see. We will see. It's Rogers, Tennessee or bust, right? We are going out there to honor Summer. We have a lot of support that's, helping us, volunteers. People have already created Facebook pages, have already created events. We've got donations. So just to go over what we've got so far from creators is Miss Cher, the Voices Behind the Walls, has donated the purple glow sticks. Dolly Vision has donated the biodegradable. They're biodegradable. We wanted to make sure that they didn't adversely affect the environment. So we got biodegradable purple balloons, memorial balloons, and I can't remember what they say, but they're really cute. And then we got some white lanterns. So we have purple balloons and white lanterns, that we will be setting off. Again, they're biodegradable. So we are being environmentally friendly with this event as well. We try to keep everybody in mind, including our environment. And I've got the 200. I know we're not going to be able to use them, but it was cheaper for me to buy 200 of the candles. So in addition to having the purple glow sticks, we also have the candles that will be lit for Summer Wells in honor of her memory. And that will be going. There's going to be other things that I will personally be donating. I'm going to be setting up a table with Summer's photos, cute photos of Summer. If you guys want to come by and take a photo at the photo table, please do so. And we're just going to try to set it up and make it. We can't go all out on this because we are in a parking lot of the sheriff's office. So it's not like I've got a day of, putting these big, beautiful balloons and, making an archway and all this other stuff. That's not going to be the case. But I am going to try to bring out my big karaoke box. It's just one big box with a speaker, but it's a good thing that we can use to speak so people can hear us. Oh, hey, White Rabbit. Nice to see you, love. And, we're going to have the setting off of the balloons and the lanterns, but we are going to have photos. If there are creators that want to put little gift bags together for, some of the people in the audience, do whatever you feel you'd like to contribute to this event. If you would like to contribute items, banners, anything, please reach out to me. If you guys are flying out, you guys can send us items here and I will pack them up and bring them with me because I'm driving. Whatever makes it easier for you, just let me know. At the end of the day, that's our focus. We're still focused on Summer Wells. We are still monitoring the Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner case. We are still monitoring the lawsuit with Gabby Petito's family against the Brian Laundrie family and wanting to see the ending of that. So, we're working a lot. We're working a lot behind the scenes. I am still working very hard to get all the stuff planned for this event. This is not easy stuff. So especially when you don't know how many people are coming, right? So I don't know how many people will be there. I don't know how many people are going to show up. But I've got a plan for a low number and I got a plan for a high number. That's all there is to it. So those that want to be involved, please reach out to me. I could use all the volunteers necessary. I'm going to be meeting with the sheriff's department when I get there and figuring out where we all need to be set up, where everything is going, what our area is. So awesome, Big Dream. That's nice to hear. It's nice to hear. And I believe somebody reached out to me from Florida, and I'm sorry I didn't get back to you. If I did get back, I can't remember if I got back to you or not. I am going to be leaving Florida like at 1:00 in the morning, and I'm driving straight there. And I believe this person was from the Orlando area. Please reach back out to me and let me know if you are comfortable leaving at that time of morning so I can figure out where our meeting point needs to be, because you would be, I want to say, maybe you'll be about the same time. I don't know. We have to find a point. But anyways, Betty. Can you pick me up? Where do you live? Email me. I could use somebody to conversate with because I'll be in the car by myself. Me too. Absolutely, White Rabbit. Absolutely. I think it's going to be amazing. I think the creators are going to show the world. I really do. I really believe this in my heart. I do. I believe this in my heart and soul, that all this gossip on YouTube about how we are so despicable people that we can't come together and be adults for 2.5 hours. If that's their impression of all of us, they're going to we must going to be impressing the world, because I'm telling you, everybody I've spoke to is coming there from a place of love. We're in a safe location. Like, I can't imagine anybody going crazy in the sheriff's parking lot. Like, I can't imagine it. Not only that, the last time we set this stuff up with TBI, we had a state law enforcement officer posted with us, not at several locations. This means over and above the county sheriff. We actually had state law enforcement making sure that we were safe and everything was going as planned, posted with us wherever we had gone. So they believe in our safety. We're doing it the right way. So not only is our audience safe, the people that are coming out are going to be safe, the creators are going to be safe, law enforcement is going to be safe. There is no better place for this event to go on than at the sheriff's office, and the sheriff is doing the best that they can do under the circumstances that they have, and they should be equally rewarded for their efforts. And let them know that we honor them, we appreciate them, and we want them to bring justice to the people that are responsible for Summer's disappearance. And there's no better place for this than at the Hawkins County Sheriff, where all those great people work. And I hope they really feel the love from the community, that we not only love and honor them, but we also support them as well. So what is the date of this event? It's June 15th from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And the reason why we broadcasted it so early on is because it's in the middle of the week, and we wanted to make sure everybody had ample opportunity to let their work know that they're not going to be there for however many days they need to take to make this event. We want them to get all their PTO taken care of and everything like that, so they can take off to come to this event. And yes, it marks the 1 year. I don't even want to call it an anniversary, because anniversaries are sound good. This is not good, but it is the milestone. It is the marker of her 1 year of disappearance, of her disappearance. And we just want to make sure that she's honored, as well as law enforcement. And that is the name of the game with this particular event. There's no place to park, folks. I hate to tell you. Yeah, you should come. Absolutely come. It's this June 15th. It's again 7 to 9:30. We were going to do it to 9, but then somebody let me know that it's not going to start getting dark until 8:45, and I thought, then we need to probably extend it to 9:30. It may extend to 10, but that's just the idea of where we are on time, is from 7 to 9:30. And we hope anybody and everybody out there comes. Anybody that has the means to be there, please be there to honor this baby girl and her sacrifice. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me this morning. As always, it was a blessing for me. I hope it was just as equal blessing to you. And I hope you guys have an amazing Monday. I hope this program started your week off right. And we are going to keep rocking out. We're going to keep bringing good content. We're going to keep advertising this candlelight vigil. And we're going to keep trying to make contact with other creators, so everybody has an opportunity to speak about Summer Wells. And again, I don't want anything about the investigation. I just want sweet thoughts, memories that they've heard from other people. If we can get other people from the community that knew the Wells and knew Summer Wells to come out and speak about, some of the fond memories that they had of Summer Wells, that would be amazing. So we're still working on this from this side, and I hope everybody makes it and has safe travels to the event, and we will see you soon. I will be back here tomorrow. Not sure what we'll talk about, but we'll see you then. Have a great day. God bless each and every one of you, and be fearless, folks.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhornbetty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhornbetty channel. Welcome to the Bullhornbetty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.